So I'm in the woods, and my roommate John is holding the camera, and it's really intense talking at John through a camera. So just putting that out there so y'all understand why I feel weird. So hi, it's Monday, August 23rd, 2010, and guess what I did at 12:45 this morning?
What'd you do?
I got testosterone in my leg. You see my band-aid? It's the Lion Martin 30th anniversary band-aid, which is really exciting. So as of right now, I've got some tea right here. I don't know how fast it spreads, but it's probably mostly right there. Yeah, so I was going to talk about what happened, and as a celebratory slash end of summer slash John wanted to go on a walk thing, we are in the woods, and I was going to say something else. Oh, and I don't know if you can see this, but this is also celebratory. This is celebratory chocolate. I got on my shirt. Okay, I went to the clinic. I waited. I started getting nervous. I started feeling like I was seeing spots, and like drinking a lot of water and feeling kind of lightheaded and thinking about it too much. And then, are you looking at my leg?
Nope.
Oh. And then, Elizabeth is the name of the nurse who teaches people how to do their shots, and that was, I thought, funny. And she was really nice, and we went back into the room, and she went and got some needles and proceeded to show me how to draw it up. Well, first we did some math. First it was like, okay, like milliliters and cc's and milligrams, and milliliters and cc's are the same thing, and my testosterone is 200 milligrams per milliliter or cc, and I'm only taking quarter of a dose, I think, so like 0.25. Anyway, so like we did all this math, and it was complex, and then I don't really remember the order of events because it was kind of intense, but basically she had me do everything while she told me what to do, except for the injection, which she did. Okay, so yeah, so like she had me like take the needle, and like it was the 18 gauge, and learn how to like carefully take it out of the thing so you don't get poked and like start bleeding because it's really sharp, and like open the top of the T, and I broke my nail, which I thought was silly, and like put it in when it's on the table, and then turn it upside down and like draw out the amount that I needed, and then more than I needed. Oh wait, I forgot to say the whole thing about pulling out air. Basically it was a lot of information all at once and kind of intense, and I tried to take notes, but it didn't really work. So she gave me a handout, and I'm going to go back next week, and I think next week I'll write down everything. But then finally, like, I got up on the table, and she like pulled out the thing at the bottom of the table to make it longer, and like put out my legs, and like had my pants down, and like she was next to me. We did it on my right leg, and she showed me how you divide between here and your kneecap into thirds, and you want the middle third. Divide the leg in half where your hand is, so like your leg is to the outside of the line, so anywhere in there. So I think that's right. Anyway, and then she was like, so do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? And I was like, I would like you to do it. And she was like, okay. So she said, I'm just gonna go at even pace. I'm gonna count to 3, and then I'll put it in, and it'll be fine. I was like, okay. And she counted to 3, and she put it in, and it didn't hurt at all. Nothing. But I was nervous that I would tense my leg the whole time. And I like had to leave it as relaxed as possible. So that was the only thing that was freaking me out. And then she pushed it in. It took like not any time at all to push it in. It was very little. And then she pulled it out, and it started bleeding a tiny bit, which is fine. And I put like cotton ball on it or whatever, and she gave me the band-aid. And I was instantly euphoric because it was so stressful to like, that's really funny, it was so stressful to get to that point, and then once it was done, it was so easy and so quick and so not painful that it was very exciting. Okay, so it didn't hurt at all.
It didn't hurt at all?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good. I think she's a professional, as in obviously she's a professional.
Yeah.
And also she is the person in the clinic who teaches everyone how to do it, so I think she's got some experience. But anyway, and then afterwards, like, we're cleaning up the stuff and pulled my pants back up and sitting in the chair. She was, like, filling out some form thing, and she was like, so basically, I mean, like, we go through all this rigmarole. It's really hard to mess up. Like, it's pretty basic what you're supposed to do. Ew, that was a really big fly. And, basically, we're just making sure that you're being safe and everything is clean. And she said, as long as you don't put the needle in any poop, you're going to be fine. So no poop on the needle.
That was part of the rigmarole?
Yeah. And I thought that was so funny. And she like started laughing. She was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I just said that. It's early, it's Monday. And I was like, no, that's actually fantastic. So we talked about bathroom humor for a bit, which was really funny. Don't put your needles in poop. This is what I learned today. Okay, and then the last thing, what was it? Oh, and then the last thing was I was like putting my stuff in my bag, and she said something like, congratulations, this is a really big day. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And she said something with the word guy in it, and I can't remember what it was. Something like, it's a big day for this guy. Something like that. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I felt really excited afterwards, euphoric. I felt euphoric afterwards. I kept smiling, and I immediately called my mom, and we had this nice phone call, and that was good, and I got lots of text messages from people, which was really nice, and now I'm on a beautiful hike. My leg still doesn't hurt, and we're going to have, I hope, we haven't talked about this, family dinner tonight. Yeah, and it's going to be delicious and nice and semi-celebratory, even though that wasn't really the idea, but I decided it can count as that. So, I think that's all. What
you mean it didn't hurt at all?
Not at all.
Not even a little bit?
Not even a little bit.